fast board has been shown. Red lights going on for a 15-minute race. And away we go then. And it's a pretty good start from everyone on the first couple of rows, I think. We'll try and see how that's panned out down to the first corner. It's Martin West, who has been passed, I think, by Jonathan Lister, who came from row 2 of the grid into the lead of the race. And in fact, it's both of the second row starters that have made their way to the front, because number 37, Ben Powney, has followed Jonathan Lister through. Ben in the orange number 37 car. So Lister leading already by about 8 car lengths as they head down the straight. Martin West is trying to get alongside Ben Powney. Daniel Sibbons is going to try and go through on the inside of him as well. So it's 3 abreast down to Tower for the first time. Powney just about holds on. No change in the order there. There on screen in 5th place is the number 7 car of Daniel Court as well.
Yeah, Ben Powney was telling me this morning they've made dramatic setup changes on that car as he was struggling yesterday. But Jono Liseter has got away, as you were saying, and for second place, they're all right there as they go down now through Barcroft, and the drivers are saying that's the corner that's particularly more tricky this year, and problems continue there for the slow start in Peter Wood. I'm afraid, down there at Tower, but let's go back to the race leader, who is still Lister. Powney did really well to hang on to second there, because he had cars coming from either side, didn't he, down into Tower, but he stayed in P2. Then it's West and Sibbons, and then the best of the Court brothers. There's Daniel, he's up there in 5th place. He had a spin yesterday.
So coming towards the end of lap 1 of this race, and it is a big lead at this stage for Jonathan Lister. Ben Powney in 2nd place is trying to break the toe from Martin West. There's then a small gap back to the 4th position car as well. West going to try and drive around the outside of Ben Powney going into Clervaux, and he's done it there. Martin West goes up into 2nd place at Clervaux corner, all the way around the outside of Ben Powney. It's Daniel Sibbons was in 4th. Looks like Daniel Court has got through into 4th position in the first couple of corners of lap 2.
Okay, so the gap's about a second and a half. Can Martin West, who did qualify fastest yesterday, do anything about that? We've got more side-by-side action. That's Daniel Sibbons getting 4th place back away from Daniel Court. And then I think they were side-by-side behind them as well. Martin Shelton and Simon Court going at it too. So this is absolutely what we expect from this type of racing. Apart from perhaps the race leader, just like yesterday on the restart. Jono Liseter pulling clear through Barcroft. They go, and right on the edge through there, not quite flat out, and then into Sunny, where we can see that battle between Simon Court and Martin Shelton over 6th and 7th positions.
So down to the complex they come once again. I say they have 2 races and they're only less than 2 hours apart, so drivers possibly will be a bit mindful of that, wanting to make sure that they can get out for the second race this afternoon. They'll only have about 3/4 of an hour turnaround or something like that, I would think, between the 2 races. As out of the final corner they come then, that's Daniel Sibbons in 56, with Daniel Court number 7 behind him. Behind Daniel is his brother Simon, 55 in 6th place. He's now ahead of Martin Shelton, number 99, is in 7th place.
Martin West has half the lead gap. It's just 0.8 of a second now between Liseter and West. A new fastest lap for West, faster than we saw yesterday, a 33.78, which is only a few tenths off the lap record, but we saw some problems out on the circuit there, Ian.
Yeah, that was Callum Barnes, who was off yesterday, retiring, I'm afraid, from the race today. Great shame for him. He started on row 7 of the grid, but up front, it is about Martin West trying to catch Jonathan Lister at the moment. Here is the battle for 6th place. That's Simon Court, number 55, ahead of Martin Shelton, number 99, the driver from Nottingham. There's West, you can see there's Ben Powney behind him. It is getting closer, I think, for the lead of the race. It was 1.5 seconds, now it's 0.8 seconds, and it looks like it's a little bit less than that now, Josh.
Yeah, it's coming down and down. Martin West making his debut in this category, the 2021 Locust champ. Oh, a big spin there, and driving backwards into Sunny is David Jones. He gets it flipped back round. He's on the runoff area now, though. But for David Jones, that looked like a fairly Larry moment. That was again coming out of Barcroft, and that's the corner the driver said last year was easy flat out. It's not this year, and we're seeing lots of hairy moments through there. But luckily there for David Jones, it didn't really come of anything. But for the lead, we have now a battle, not just 2 cars, I would suggest, but Ben Powney, who was struggling yesterday, the setup changes seem to be working for him too, because he's making it free for the lead as they complete 3 laps.
Yeah, that's right. So over the line they go again. Half a second now, the gap first to second. Wait, and yet another 6 tenths back to Ben Powney in third position. But there is Jonathan List, 42-year-old, who lives near Romford, originally from Kingston, and started racing in cars just 4 years ago, but was karting from the age of 13. So he's doing that for quite some time as well before he went circuit racing. Now he's going to have a battle on his hands here to try and keep Martin West at bay. Ben Powney too, closing on him. Then there's a small gap back to Daniel Sibbons, who's equally just in a little bit of no man's land at the minute, because there's battle going on behind. Well, actually, Daniel Court's also on his own, but there's a back behind.
Huge slide for Martin West out of the S's. That was quite a moment, but he kept his foot in and don't think really lost any time. But that looks interesting. So it looks like these cars are really lively around here, which the drivers are enjoying the challenge. But it's still Lissitor, West, Powney, not far behind them now are Sibbons and Court. Are they getting closer? We're going to get 5 cars for the lead. Yeah, we're not yet halfway through, so plenty can still happen. Yeah,
long way to go, nearly 9 minutes of racing. As the leaders then at the hairpin at the end of lap number 4 of this race. Best lap of the race so far, 1:33.78 to Martin West, which is 7 tenths faster than Jonathan Lissitor managed as the best lap of yesterday's race, and that's because he's been in pursuit of the race leader Jonathan Lissitor. There's the scrap between Simon Court and Martin Shelton. There's another nice scrap going on between Lucas Batt and Sam McKee, almost alongside one another as they went across the line, that time in the duel over 8th place, and there they are on screen, and it's Sam McKee actually that has made the move and is ahead of Lucas Batt there. It was the opposite way round as they crossed the timing line. Just behind them is the 43 car of David Mason, who was a bit further up the order yesterday.
Sam McKee had a big slide, and off the road behind him has gone Lucas Batt out of the chicane. Finds they've got one of those big puddles we've got off-road and gets back on. So they both had a big moment. That's allowed David Mason to pass them both. There you can see Sam McKee in the Ma7da 787 Le Mans winning inspired livery from 32 years ago. But enjoying his first weekend race in this car that he will be sharing over the course of the year with former Classic Stock Hatch race winner Imran Khan, who will be out in it next time out at Anglesey.
You can see as watching there this battle between Simon Court and Martin Shelton. Martin has got back in front, by the way. How close to the limits of adhesion these cars were through the Jim Clark S's as well. They were really exploring the limits there. Meanwhile, the leading battle is coming back into our view in the commentary box, just heading into the hairpin now. We'll possibly pick up on that in a second, but those top 3 right together as we watch Martin Shelton go through. And it's the battle for 6th place with Shelton ahead of Court again at the moment. That will be reflected as they cross the line this time.
Yeah, they're trading positions. We haven't seen a change for the lead yet though. Martin West was able to catch quickly, but hasn't been able to get past. Ben Powney now sets the fastest lap, a 1:33.70. So the lap time's very similar now to last year with the changes to the regulations. And off into the gravel, just behind them, has gone Daniel Court out of 5th position, out of turn 1, out of Clairvaux. That car's well buried, so he's having to climb out of the car.
Yeah, so he was in 5th position when that happened. He was about 1.6 seconds behind Daniel Sibbons at the start of the lap, and well ahead of Martin Shelton. So he was all on his own, really, so possibly just pushing a little bit too hard and has ended up in the gravel trap. See what happens as a result of that. Meanwhile, the leaders pushing on through Croft up to Sunny. This is lap 6 of the race now. There's Ben Powney in the number 37 car. So we were in double duty last season with the F1000 as well, but that car has been sold, so focusing on the Ma7da 7s for the moment.
Yep, and he is putting the pressure on Martin West after setting that fastest lap last time round. There won't be any challenges into Clairvaux into the first corner of the next lap, because we're going to have double waved yellow flags in that section of the track for a live snatch. We saw that yesterday as well. So yellow flags from the start-finish line, double yellows into turn 1, and there's the reason. You could see the car of Daniel Court in the gravel. The warning flags, black and white warning flag, probably for track limits being shown. Can't quite see the car number from here, but new fastest lap by the leader, John Lissitor now, a 1:33.69. That's 100th of a second quicker than Ben Powney.
Well, it looked like there was a couple of cars getting track limits warnings there as well. I could see two separate numbers being displayed, but no one yet in receipt of a 5-second penalty, but if they infringe again, that may well be the case. So, Martin West there, number 94, the driver from Southampton, chasing after Jonathan Lissitor there, up towards the Jim Clarkesses. They sweep left and they sweep right. Fantastic view we get here from this camera position. And then the cars head up towards that right-hander at Croft and then off up to Sunny. Great place, which not open to spectators, that part of the circuit, but the marshals on that poster points get a fantastic view of the action.
The gap was a second. Wasn't that half a lap later, was it? So Martin West is closer to John O'Lissitor, who pops a wheel there over the curb, and that's caught him out. He's run out wide as they come through the complex. So can Martin West make anything of this? I don't think he will. So the TSR car continues to lead, and we've got yellow flags and safety car boards now.
Yeah.
So perhaps they've decided, unless there's been another incident, they've decided to do that recovery at the first corner. They will need full yellow flag conditions.
Yeah, and we've got 4 minutes of the race to go, just under 4 minutes. So if they can get this done quite quickly, we might just about get one more lap. If they can get the circuit clear within a lap, which it looks like they're going to do, because they'll just be able to go in behind the barrier there, I would think.
I think the problem was where yesterday the car that was off was much closer to where the recoveries come from, near the assembly area, where this time the court car is much further through the gravel, isn't it? So I think that's probably the reason for this safety car being needed.
Yeah, as we say, I mean, there'll be at most one lap when racing gets underway, but we I would think, get that lap, which would make it very entertaining. 1 lap dash for the finish line.
Well, some series struggle with that type of thing, don't they?
Yes, they do. They do. Mentioning no names. So there's Ben Powney, number 37. He's in 3rd position at the moment. We always say that in these kind of races where you've got a big pack of cars, you often don't want to be leading going on to the final lap. Well, Jonathan Lister's not got much choice about that now, has he? Because he's behind the safety car, so he can't sort of manufacture giving the place away and hoping to sort of slipstream back past whoever gets ahead of him on the final lap. He is there. He is the target. That's the 25 car we could see of David Bowen going through, still a newcomer. Did a couple of races at the end of last season, but he's been the British champion 5th scale touring car racing for many years. He's been around the world competing in that. He's also spent time maintaining Mark 1 and Mark 2 rally escorts in the historic championship as well. And the car he's racing is the ex-Ollie Batten car that he bought last year.
1/5 scale sounds like it's pretty big still, isn't it, for
Yeah.
a scale car? So that was quite interesting, I should imagine.
That's what he says. Anyway, safety car lights, well, it's very hard to tell, isn't it, whether they're on or off, but the circuit is clear, they are off, and we are going to go racing once again, but we'll only have time for one more lap. Of course, if Jonathan Lister was really canny here, he could drive very slowly up to the line and avoid that, but I don't think he's quite going to be able to make the next few hundred yards last a minute and a half.
He's gone, I think, hasn't he? And with a couple of car lengths between himself and Martin West, and he's not going to catch the safety car, so I think John Lister's probably timed this pretty well, at least into the first corner. He's not going to be challenged as the green flags are waved. Can Martin West get close enough to challenge towards Tower Corner? We shall see. Sometimes this type of racing, actually, the safety car tends to spread things out more than anything, and perhaps that's what's happened here, Ian.
Yeah, West, well, not that close, although a bit of a twitch there from Lister. Then he's gone onto the curb and taken a bit of gravel. Has he got away with that? Yes, I think he has. Looking out of the commentary box window, Lister is still there in front, and he's got probably 6 or 8 car lengths lead over Martin West, and then a similar gap back to Ben Powney. So Lister might actually be sitting pretty here.
Yeah, he did a really good job at getting the race back underway, but he's pushing so hard, isn't he? As you mentioned, through Clairvaux, he had a big old moment, so he's just got to be careful he doesn't get caught out there, as we see him coming through the S's with a pretty good advantage over West and Powney. Pretty early on, they ended up in that order, and they haven't changed. while some of the batters behind have traded positions.
Yeah, Sibbons and Martin Shelton are pretty close together in 4th and 5th, aren't they? We could see in that shot heading up towards Sunny, but they're heading back down towards the complex now. It looks like Jonathan Lister's going to make it 2 out of 2 with 1 race left to go this afternoon. And it looks like we are getting a bit of a change, possibly for 4th, 5th and 6th. You've got Sibbons, then you've got Shelton, and then you've got Simon Court there in the 55 car. The leaders on his own, 2nd and 3rd, are they going to change? Ben Powney and Martin West? No, I don't think they are on the run up to the line, so it's going to be Jonathan Lister that wins the 2nd round of the Aimshot Mazda 7 Championship. 2nd place goes to Martin West, 3rd goes to Ben Powney, and then confirmation of 4th place, yes, that's Daniel Sibbons from Martin Shelton and Simon Court. Lucas Batt got into 7th place,
yeah,
did he?
That's because there was, I think, a bit of an incident between Sam McKee and David Mason, and they've both dropped a long way down the order.
So Lucas, who lost that time when he went off onto the rallycross circuit midway through the race, sort of has got that back. So David Jones it is that comes in 8th place.
And he had a big spin as well, David Jones.
Yeah, he did at Sunny's, didn't he? Which was, he arrived there backwards, which is not recommended. And then David Mason comes home 10th and Sam McKee 13th in the end, after whatever happened between them. There's very happy Jonathan Lister. Marshall showing their appreciation to the drivers and vice versa on the slowing down lap. And as we say, there's another race for the Mazda 7s just a little bit later on this afternoon at around about 2:15. So what's that, an hour and 20 minutes or so from now. So Lister obviously leading the championship after 2 rounds of 14 this season. Let's take a look at the results from that race. Was the win then for Jonathan Lister. After 9 laps of racing, he finished exactly 1 second clear of Martin West. Ben Powney was in 3rd position. A gap back then to Daniel Sibbons. He had his hands full from Martin Shelton and Simon Court, so 56, 99 and 55, 4th, 5th and 6th. Lucas Batt gained 7th place on the final lap in car 66, and it was David Jones number 50, Ian Wells number 5 and David Mason 43 rounding out the top 10. And there we can see behind them it's David Bowen, Sam McKee, Lewis Penstone Smith and Ayrton Rogers. Peter Wood, we lost Daniel Court and Callum Barnes as well during the course of that race. So as I say, the Aimshot Mazda 7s back out a little bit later on this afternoon, and a reminder that there are a selection of other categories still to come. Next up we're going to have the Absolute Alignment Sports 1000 Championship. They have 2 races this afternoon, so too do the 5 Club Racing MX5 Cup. A solo race for the Freaky Park Sports Specials Championship to go with the one that they had yesterday. And then of course we round out the day's racing with the 2-hour race for the Skiwa Club Enduro Championship, Josh.
Yeah, and that's the only race that has a green flag lap today, isn't it? So proper old-fashioned clubby with no green flag laps throughout, which is very rare nowadays. So that means it's going to be quick fire action here at Croft Circuit this afternoon with the 750 Motor Club race day. So we look forward to lots of exciting racing, and the field there you can see heading down towards Parc Ferme at the end of the pit lane. The top 3 cars get stopped, and then our team down there, Alpha Live team down there, including Chris Stevens, will be about to have a chat with our top 3. And John Lister, again a race winner, and he's down there with Chris Stevens.
Back-to-back victories for Jonathan Lister, the reigning champion in the Aimshot Mazda 7's Championship. Jonathan, it looked like that safety car came out at just the right time.
It really did, yeah. It made what was already a challenging race even harder. And then that last, after the safety car went in, I was slowed up way too much on the gravel. These guys caught up. I was like, oh no. So I really just tried to be perfect and just managed to pull enough of a gap. So yeah, I'm really pleased. So just thanks to the TSR boys for such a great car, and obviously my sponsor Hill for helping me out.
Now, obviously, it's a dream start to your title defence. One more race to go today, of course. But yeah, you mentioned yesterday that you may not be doing the full season. Surely you're tempted to give it a full go.
Yeah, I think I might have to now, aren't I?
Oh, fantastic. Well, hopefully we will see you out at many more races to come this season and fight for the title. Jonathan Lister, congratulations. Back-to-back victories for you. Let's go and talk to Martin West, who the low-cost convert and a good start to your Ma7da's career.
Yeah, considering where the car was 2 weeks ago, had a bit of an incident at Brands on a test day. It was yeah, to just get on the podium here today, I'm absolutely made up. Yeah, normally I'd say about the car and that, but I just got to give a big thanks to my dad, because normally I do most of the stuff myself, but without my dad helping me out, there's no way we'd have got the car straight and back out for this weekend. So it's absolutely brilliant to be on the podium, and I'm made up to me and him.
Do you think you might be able to get Jono at the end there?
Well, it seems I've made a bit of a mistake on the build with these Mazdas. Everyone's got rear brake calipers, and I'm still running the drums from the low cost, so I just haven't got the brakes to out-brake them. And there's a couple of times I could have probably had a dive on Jono, but I think it would have ended up me going in the side of him. So we're getting closer, but we'll keep going, get some rear calipers on there, and hopefully be a bit closer to him. But no, loved it. Good to be back, and yeah, some brilliant racing, and fair play to Jono. I kept trying to pressure him into something, but he held his nerve, and he done well. True champ.
How have you found the transition from low cost to Ma7das?
They're a lot quicker than I thought they were. Obviously, everyone said, oh yeah, they're a bit quicker than low cost. When I went out on this test day, I got on it and I was like, cool, blimey, these are a bit lively compared to what I'm used to. It definitely takes a bit of getting used to, and I'd still recommend doing low cost before you jump into these to, get used to it, because these are very lively and very twitchy. But yeah, enjoyable, but yeah, good fun. But yeah, definitely a lot quicker than the crossflow engines in the other Formula.
Great stuff. Congratulations on second place. Let's go and grab a very quick word with Ben Powney. Ben, absolute staple of this championship, big part in making it all happen. Must feel great to be out on the podium.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's been so long since I've been up here, to be fair. I've almost forgotten what to do and say. But I had to say hello to Seb and Elliot, who are watching at home as well, my boys. Yeah, it was a great race. I'm kind of hanging on a little bit to these guys at the moment. I'm a little bit down on power, I think. But yeah, classic racing driver excuse, I guess. But yeah.
Can you do another one in the final race of the day?
I'm going to give it a go. It's kind of all out now. We've got our position for the last race, so yeah, I suppose let's go for it. And well, someone's got to beat these two, haven't they? I guess so. Might as well give it a whirl.
Absolutely, we look forward to seeing that. Ian, Josh, let's go back up to you. Coming up next, the Absolute Alignment Sports 1000 Championship.